Well, let's see. In my room right now, I have so many candles lit. It's like I am trying so hard to create just some peace in my room tonight. It's late. Look behind me. It looks like I have like a blowtorch behind me, but it's really just three little candles. And I have candles over there and candles over there. And at some point, I'll put something yummy in my diffuser and make it smell good too. I am trying to kind of come down off of a day where I had a pinball day where I was all over the place. I was in Kenner, I was uptown, my kids were off from school, so I was here, I was bringing them to this, that, and the other thing, going to Mid-City. It's just been a day. So I am just trying to kind of bring myself down. So, and yet another video where I'm in my pajamas. I have just got out of the shower, no makeup on, and that's just kind of okay. I'm drinking hot tea because my throat's a little weird, and the tea that I'm drinking is herbal tea that one of my dear friends brought me on a day that I was sick a while back. Without asking, this friend brought me herbal teas and two different kinds of soup. And so every time I have tea, this tea that my friend brought, I think of her, and that's lovely. So this whole evening for me is just trying to kind of bring myself down a little bit. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm thinking about the concept of grace. I love that word. It's such a great word. So I'm sure that some people can relate to this. I have this thing that I do where I have something kind of looming over me that I haven't gotten to, that I owe somebody, or something I haven't done, or a response I haven't given, or work I haven't finished, or whatever it may be. And every day that goes by, it gets a little bit more anxiety producing. And folks like me, I have this habit of sometimes not tending to things like that because I say, oh, I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And it's not just procrastination. It's more than that. It's more like avoiding things that make me anxious. And also coupled with like this desire in some cases, like I need to respond to somebody and I want my response to be perfect and not quick. So I'm going to wait until I have the right headspace to do that. And then a day goes by, and a day goes by, and a day goes by, and I haven't done it yet. And then my anxiety grows because days are going by, and that makes it even harder to get to. And it just becomes this swirling ball of stress. And, and then, of course, what often happens is when you actually do the thing you've been avoiding doing out of anxiety or whatever it is, it's so much better most of the time than you think it's going to be. So I had that experience today, and I call those things monsters in the corner. Just things that are just sitting there in front of you that you're pretending not to see, but that are just growing, scary little beasts. And so I've had some monsters in the corner lately, some things I haven't done. One of which is I have been working with a coach who is phenomenal. She's so wonderful. And I have sung her praises in some of these videos earlier on. And if anybody wants her name, just send me a DM on Instagram, day12020, and I will happily share it. However, I have just been so behind in getting some of my work done with her. And it's just completely me just not carving out the time to do the things that I need to do, the work that she is working with me on. It's important to me, and she makes it clear it's important to her. And so I sent finally this communication to her that I've been putting off because I just need to say exactly the right thing to say why I've been so distant and haven't gotten things done. And so I just cranked out this email last night, and I wrote it from the heart, and I was transparent and authentic, and I owned up to my shit. And I was anxious this morning to see how she would respond. And she responded not only lovingly, but she responded with such grace. You know, we talk about being gracious, comes from grace. And And Grace, she was not only loving and understanding, but, she was clear about, what we can do at this point forward and kind of how to kind of keep moving forward. But she showed grace in her response to me. And I pulled up the definition of grace just, because. And there's several, of course, and this is just the internet version. But one of the definitions is courteous goodwill. All of that, so simple. Also to do honor or credit to someone by one's presence, right? Those are beautiful, simple. That's how I felt. I felt that she showed me grace when I was vulnerable and I was trying to tackle a monster in the corner, which was the stuff I just couldn't quite get to with that work because I've been so overstretched and so many things have gone on. I just kept putting it off, and it's really hard to prioritize my own self-care. And that's deep self-care, the stuff I'm doing with her. Anyway, so I'm just really grateful when someone shows me grace, and I try to do the same with people as often as I can. And so I'm just thinking about that and how I can also give grace back out into the world. So, yeah, courteous goodwill. What a lovely concept. And my coach showed me some grace today. And so I have a couple of more monsters in the corner that I have to deal with in the next week or so, including a report that's really overdue. And and a couple of other things that are just really needing to be gotten to. But I'm just going to kind of slay those monsters when I can and when I feel ready. Because every day I have to tackle the things that are right in front of me. So, doing the best I can. So that's where my thoughts are. Kind of simple stuff today. I am going to add a song to my playlist that speaks to me of friendship and grace and the journey that every single one of us on this planet is on, just trying to find stasis and keep moving forward. And the song is by Lucius. And Lucius is a female duo who they have a wonderful band behind them, but they're a songwriting duo, and so many of their songs make me want to sing along in a very dramatic fashion because they're very dramatic. But Dusty Trails is the song that I'm going to add, and the lyrics to that song are just sheer poetry, and their voices are magical. So Dusty Trails just speaks to how I'm feeling today and speaks to the journey that we're all on. And my voice is definitely still on some sort of journey. And so those are my thoughts. The mind-body practice I'm going to do tonight is one I did just the other day. I was in the shower and I thought to myself, I breathed and I said, I'm doing the best that I can. So I did that just a few days ago. I'm going to do it again tonight for my mind-body practice. It's definitely one to repeat. So I am going to drink my hot tea, at least for the time being. I might switch to something else later. Wink, wink. But, and I am going to sit. I have a comfy chair in my room. My room is my comfy place. I have a comfy chair and an ottoman in my room. And I'm going to sit there kind of later on after I've done some things I need to do tonight. And I'm going to do what I always do, which is to just breathe. I'm going to sit up in my chair and really try for 3 minutes or so to just breathe and use the full capacity of my lungs. In through my nose, out through my mouth. And I don't think I'm going to close my eyes for this one. I think that I'm going to just breathe for a few minutes quietly and just make sure, as always, that my hands aren't clenched and my toes right now, if you could see them, are like, I'm still anxious, I'm still tense. But make sure that things aren't clenched. Breathe and just say those words 10 times, I'm doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. What a simple sentence. But if one is looking for an affirmation and a mantra, those go together very well, like chocolate and peanut butter. I'm doing the best that I can. A mantra and an affirmation. It becomes a mantra when it's repeated and coupled with relaxation and breathing. And it's an affirmation. It's a phrase or a sentence that is affirming to who I am right now in this moment. And who I am right now in this moment is someone who is doing the very best that I can. And so that's my practice tonight.